the executive stage, we have the lean in action, using performance management to trigger continuous improvement with Jan van Ginkel. Just a second, I also have to remember everybody who bought the workshop with José Roberto Ferro about daily management. It's starting now. So please, if you bought the workshop, don't forget in your agenda you have that workshop. It's going to start now with José Roberto Ferro. Well, guys, I can see here René, I can see Jan, so I hope you guys can continue from there. Thank you.
Hey, welcome everyone.
Welcome.
It's a pleasure to introduce Jan. We have a very long history together, over 20 years of doing lean, applying lean in all kinds of circumstances. I'm really happy Jan is here, because Jan, when I was still a young kid, dared to work with me and apply lean in a lot of organizations. So it's a real pleasure he's here. He's going to tell a bit more of what he's done over these years and some of the learnings that Jim was already talking about. It's not just about being a leader, it's also how can you create a system, a more systematic approach, so people can be successful and it's not per se dependent on single people. So Jan, warm welcome, and please go ahead.
Thank you. It's an honor for me to be here. Thank you all for inviting me. And I realized in the last half hour that I have a lean job to do, a very big lean job, because I need to tell in almost half an hour, 20 years of experience in lean. I call it the lean journey. And I don't know if you already see my presentation. I think so, eh? Here it comes. I will introduce myself a little bit. So you see now with big letters Borgesius there on the screen. I'm currently Operation Director at Borgesius. Borgesius is the biggest bakery company in the Netherlands, with around 9 bakery plants. And well, I'm there for 2 years, but that's not my main story. My main story started 20 years ago. I will tell a little bit about it. But first of all, I would try to go to the next page. He's not moving. There he is, there he is. Okay, who is Jan? Well, I have a background as a mechanical engineer and also studied business administration a little bit later in my career. I started at Sara Lee International, you guys know it, maybe from Chicago, where Sara Lee Corporation was the head office. And in the Netherlands, we had Sara Lee International. I did a lot of jobs, 25 years of manufacturing and out-of-home management in coffee and tea, household and body care and bakery. And then I think it was 2005, I was asked to implement lean, continuous improvement, into our Sara Lee International plants. And we had at that moment around 30 plants. I was not really aware about lean. I was reading Lean Thinking, but the main learnings came from Jan Jones, where we had, together with him, some lean awareness workshops, and that was really helpful for me. After that, I had several jobs as Director of Manufacturing and at the end VP Operations at Sara Lee. And after that, from 2013 onwards, I had around, let's say, half of it, all kind of advisory roles in manufacturing, and later on also in a couple of companies, all kind of operations leadership roles. From there on, I will tell you what my experience is. I remember very well, after I think a year of pretty successful implementation of lean, with a lot of savings, very, very nice in many plants, I realized what will happen when we stop doing this. Will waste come back? And what can we do? Is it now depending on my personal role and my behavior, or and I leave it also to others. And there I started to think, okay, we need something, a kind of improvement system, a kind of trigger to keep on going with all kind of tools, because the tools are very important, but you're not doing value stream maps every let's say every year. You don't develop all kind of let's say hosting countries or whatever, just to keep it on. So what we really need, beside leadership roles, etc., was a kind of a system, a trigger to really start all kind of initiatives in order to keep on rolling with continuous improvement. And let's call it performance management. We developed kind of rooms. Later on, we call that, because we learned from Toyota, OPEA rooms. That was something else I learned. But we use this for performance management. And we developed a kind of meeting structure to connect, let's say, all the layers in the organization and also the time to each other, in order to, let's say, to develop yearly plans and try to bring that on the shop floor, because that's where it happens. That's where the waste is, of course, and that's where you need to solve the problems. So that's a little bit where we started. It looks like this, what we had in continuous improvement. We developed something like this, because we need to yearly performance, but we need to bring it to the shop floor, so we need to connect it. Yearly meetings, quarterly meetings, monthly meetings, weekly meetings, daily meetings, and even hourly performance measurements. And we used to do it like this. Putting of all on the shop floor, because that's where it happens. When we need to develop the daily meetings, the shifts, 5-minute meetings, and so on. So that was for us, let's say, a continuous impulse trigger to start up again and again all kinds of initiatives in order to improve. And then all the tools came in. That's how we try to do that, and with a lot of success. And after, let's say, 72 years, I still perform this kind of working, and really also at the company now, we try to, we really make pretty well progress by using this tool. Well, what I also already said at the beginning, it's not easy to tell in half an hour all my experience, but let me share some key notes. What I think is really important as a director responsible for a couple of plants or one plant or whatever, worldwide or in one country, it doesn't matter. What I do is this way of working. But every 4 weeks, we have a management team. We call it an operations management team. Nowadays, we have a kind of process review, because the process is important. We have a morning session where we really focus on all the KPIs. We have a lot of graphs and metrics. You see it here on the picture on the left side. We focus on safety, on quality, on delivery of our goods, but also on costs. But the most important thing is having the process in place. In the morning, we focus on the performance reviews, and we wherever we have red figures, we need to develop an action or an initiative or a project group or whatever. And in the afternoon session, we review all our main projects with members of the management team. Are mainly the project leaders, not always, but mainly they are. And there we make our A3s, our status A3s, and that's how we try to manage in a, let's say, in one day, all the developments in the company. Beside that, and that's not on this picture, we have also we call it period reports, reviews of the local plans, where members of the team, of the management team, connect. They connect to the plans, to the same figures, and mainly, if you see here, margin performance per plans, we start all kind of plans there as well. At the same level as what we do at the management team. What I decide doing is I visit every week 1 or 2 plants, and I learn to perform together with the plant management, sometimes the plant manager, Gemba walks, where we review all kind of progress onto the shop floor. I read also the improvement boards. I try to understand all the issues, and sometimes I really discuss with operators to ask them what they are doing, what are the main problems, and how do they solve them. What I also always do is join a OBEA meeting. They have them every day at all our plants in the morning with the management teams of the plants. And I always join, when I'm in a plant, the OBEA meeting. The reason why I do that is that I would like to show them how committed I am and how important it is. And I see every day, every week, and every month, I see improvements there. And it really works well. Well, let's say, let's go. I made some, let's say, key leadership principles, what I experienced in the last 20 years. What is now really important? What can you do as a leader, as a employee, as a change agent, or whatever your role is? Mainly focusing on leadership. What's really important, I think that's the main thing, is that you all speak the same language. And to make it very simple, understand what the constitutes of a good day are for an operator, because operators really want to perform. At the end of the day, they want to have good performance. And that's the way we try to measure, also on the boards at the shop floor, where we are and what the issues are. And to have also everyday meetings there with operators and their boss, talking about the performance issues. And also at the same way as we do it at management level, also have the same, let's say, steps made at the shop floor. That's important. But it starts with speaking the same language. The second thing I really is important is to recognize you and as a change agent, but also as management, the role of management. Because my experience is that is really to say, sorry guys, but this is the biggest constraint. Management is often the primary bottleneck. And it is simple to understand, because they made their steps in life, in their business, because of what they did. And to change that is really, really difficult. So we need to help them by showing it, by doing it as well. And I sometimes say the shop floor reflects the management, let's say the management effectiveness. You see it on the shop floor, how these guys perform, and we need to help them. Also, these leaders really underestimate their impact on that process. That is, we need to learn that to them, because they don't know. They can make big steps. The third thing is, I think it's doable for everybody. Start small in your own environment. I heard Joe Womack told us the same thing. You can start always. Start at a small level, at your own desk, in your own workplace. Start small. It is doable, really, and show it to everybody. And also, a lot of people focus on results, but please start focusing on the process, not just the results. Sustainable improvement really comes from the process excellence. That's where it starts. And that's also the next point. Start to stabilize the results, then improve. and not really try to improve with unstable results, because you deliver nothing. So establish stable processes before the optimization. And the last thing is, of course, it's always tailor-made. So you need to tailor the solutions to your context. Don't copy-paste, because it really doesn't help. I see it a lot. And if you see the board here now, it's completely different from all other boards I've made. And these are well, developed with the help of the Lean Institute in this way. But it's really working well at this company. It helps really good. And we needed to focus there, first of all, on safety and quality, then to delivery, and at the end, the cost. And that helps really to set the point in all our plans. I did it in 15 minutes. So it's I talk faster. Are there any questions?
We're going to go into
Q&A.
Q&A.
Where's the mouse?
There is the mouse.
Oh, yes. Let's see. Yeah, oh, there's only one question, which is
Maybe it's a very important question. Eh?
Advice on developing a performance board. What advice could you give, Jan, on how do you start on developing a board?
Yes, you can start from on the shop floor. What I already told you is that it is very important that you really measure what a day of an operator makes it very important. That's I think a good step. But also you have your plans of your company. The main things you need to have profit. You can develop. We call it a KPI tree. And a KPI tree is very helpful. I don't have an example of it with me, but it's really helping. That you have a kind of KPI tree from the top of the company, where you make your profit. You have your main things up to the level to the lowest level. Mainly, it looks a little bit like what I designed with all these measurements and all the levels of the company. You can use that very easily to design a kind of performance board by picking up the most important ones.
I think
Don't take too much, yeah?
So start small as well.
Always start small.
So I think, for instance, you with your team worked on how can we reduce the real waste? So for baking bread. So what were some of these examples?
Yeah, where we started in this company, we started with we call it the quick scan, measuring all the wastes around those plants. Very simple. You add value to materials, and then at the end you have less materials. So the difference between these two are your material losses.
Yeah.
And that was mainly the biggest opportunity we found. And also in labor hours, we did the same thing mainly. And that's the way how we started here. So we started with only one KPI, material losses.
So that's really small. Let's see some of the other questions. So can you please put back the implementation slides with the 5 rectangles? So could you go back to?
Thanks.
You can go back to.
Do we still see the presentation now? Or do we need to share it?
We need to share it again.
There's one, how to convince management that lean is a culture and a path, not a quick money. And how to convince management lean is a culture and a path, not just quick money.
It's a very good question.
Well, I think what we did before is that we went to other companies to show them, right? So
yeah, what we did in England, for example, or yeah, it's that is a way of doing it, but they need to experience it. And that's my experience, the only way to convince management is to show them the money. And really believe me, the money is coming. But first of all, you need to show the losses. That convinces most management. So, okay, you lose, for example, you lose materials. That amount is as big as your profit. And I've seen it many times. And that convinced them.
So what changes to your language would you make in a culture where drive for results is first and foremost? What changes to your language? So you said earlier on in your presentation, talk the language of the people. So how do you have a good day? But yeah, how does this work with
Without involvement of the shop floor, you achieve nothing. And really believe me, the waste is on the shop floor. It's only on the shop floor. Sometimes I say that the waste is at the management level. That's also true. But we're now talking about the waste on the shop floor. So you need to talk their language. Otherwise, you get them not in the right direction. So that's why you need it.
I think you also visited a lot of companies. You see a lot of boards, but how do you really make sure that it doesn't become a sort of a theater play or just people checking wallpaper, right?
Yeah.
What do you do there?
Oof. Yeah, how to? What do you really mean? That how it sometimes develops into a wallpaper?
Yeah,
or started as a wallpaper.
No, the second. So people do this because you want them to. But so how do they really take this as part of their daily job?
I think what I just told is just showing your own commitment and really showing it. Otherwise, they don't believe it, and I think it's a show.
I think you also in your office, you have your own boards.
The pictures you saw in the PowerPoint are my office.
Are your office?
My office.
Yeah. So practice what you preach. Really do it.
I look yourself. At it almost every day.
Okay. Next question. From your experience, how could we convince managers and leaders that management itself could be a bottleneck?
Whoa! Yeah, it's really, how can you convince people that they are the bottleneck?
I think you had several examples in your business.
Yes.
In the many years you've run plans. I think you have, from my experience with working with you, you've given people opportunities, you've given them challenges, but in the end, if they were really behaving still after several attempts as bottlenecks, you would remove them.
It's better for them as well.
In the end.
At the end, in the end, they really will have a problem with themselves.
I remember from a Toyota guy, he once said, yeah, change the people or change the people. So first, try really seriously to help them.
I think really one of the big values is of Toyota as well as value is respect for people. So I have respect for a lot of people. I have also respect for management. So you have to give them the time to behave in a proper way. But if they don't,
show them the example, what they can follow, and make it easier. Not just tell them, but really take them along.
I think that's real leadership, show it.
So, next question: any suggestions about developing metrics and KPIs for development of IT solutions?
What do you really want to achieve? Because that's what's your main goal with this solution. I think that from there on you need to start to develop KPIs.
I think there are some good books like the Lean Tech Manifesto. Fabrice Bernard is really worthwhile to have a look at. Any thoughts on Power BI replacing visual management boards? We see a trend that
we use it as well, Power BI. But I still believe in visual management boards because they stay on the wall. And Power BI, if you shut down the screen, it's gone. And I strongly believe in showing it day to day, every moment. But we use Power BI, of course, to get your information from. So it's really a useful tool, but
And
not
if-
by using on
And even if you have 9 factories, like
Mhm.
you're still every factory has
factory
their
has its own visual boards. Absolutely.
Cool. Do you,
Yeah.
do you think this thinking applies as well to small and big companies? So does this lean?
Doesn't matter at all. Of course, at a local supermarket is not very easy, but also there you can do it because the principles are very simple. You can use boards there as well. I've heard from very simple small companies, 2 people, they use boards. Because at the moment you have another employee or a colleague, it's very easy to use boards. So use them. Yeah.
1 minute. Yes, 1 minute.
Great.
Any last question? If we have to help leaders, where do we start to undo the slow management approach?
Yeah, so I think it's often very difficult in organizations where you really struggle with the let's say classical traditional way of command and control.
Mhm.
So how do you get people out of this tendency of just steering on PowerPoint behind their desk, just some data? So how do you? Is this possible with this old approach? Or?
I'm listening to you, I did it myself as well. You have to go to the shop floor.
Yeah, so
And
take
it's
people to the
really
shop floor.
bring them to the shop floor, and really believe me, Gemba works out. Really, they help. And ask to the people who are at the shop floor. They know, they have the knowledge. They experience it every day, and they want to do a good job. So you need to help.
Well, I think it's close to our end.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Jan. It's a pleasure to have you here. Thanks for sharing your experiences as a COO. You've done great things in the last couple of years, so I'm proud of you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, and have a nice 24 hours.
Excellent. Okay, René. Thank you. You guys finished on time. We really appreciate this effort from the Netherlands.